3 and Chicago nothing. As many times as I look at it, it's still kind of hard to believe when you see a score like this between a pair of teams that were coming in here tied for first place in their divisions. I don't even know where to start, but it's been all New England from the get-go.
It's hard to believe that snow's coming in our booth too.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. Patriots just awesome. Boomer Esiason said it best. They have the best offense in the National Football League, and they pressure you so much. You think, well, the defense is not great. Well, does it matter? They put you in such tough situations you cannot just overcome.
All right, Phil, let's take a look at the Droid Pro play presented by Motorola. Let's go to that last play of the first half. Tillman beaten badly by Branch, who takes off as time expires for the touchdown to absolutely get this place worked up to where the Boo Birds were calling as the team was heading to the locker room.
Well, the good news is I think the weather has improved slightly.
Yeah, last time you said that,
it got worse.
The snow intensified. Manning steps up to the 10-yard line. He takes a big tumble over on the sideline. I'll try to summarize it this way. Patriots over 30 points again. Brady with a couple of touchdowns. Woodhead runs one in. Guyton returns the fumble. And that's more points than Chicago had allowed in any single game this season.
And Lovie Smith told us on Friday, proud of his team, proud of the way they play, how hard they play, and how they've acted all year long. Well, this is a test.
Ball tipped and over the head of Forte. You saw the graphic, the first time they've trailed by more than 30 at halftime in a home game since 1964 against Minnesota.
You know, too, Jim, on the offensive side, you know, hey, look, come on, let's be honest. You know, you're probably not going to come back. You need every break there is to do it, to win this game. But for the offense, you still mix it up. You run the football some. You don't put Jay Cutler in harm's way. Make the defense play as honest as you can.
High snap. He jumps up and grabs this Cutler, hands it off to Forte for about 8.
They're coming into this game too, the Bears so confident, so hopeful. I think they were looking forward to this tilt against the Patriots because the Patriots get so much publicity. They're so out there in front. After the big build-up on Monday night and the way the Patriots played, they were like, all right, let us get a chance and a shot at these guys. You know, they like their chances. They thought they matched up on both sides of the ball very well against New England. That has not been the case.
Well, they came in riding a 5-game win streak from the 43, 3rd down and 2. And incomplete as, look at the defensive play by Arrington on Knox.
Oh, it's excellent coverage. Crowd can't even muster up a boo thinking it's pass interference. Top of your screen, good technique. There comes underneath, left hand in front. That's just put it on a training reel. Play in the situation too. Play the field. It was a blitz. The football is probably going to be thrown short. Kyle Arrington all over the throw.
Edelman jumping around. He'd like to get that run back, like the one he had called back. Oh, Maynard drops it. And that ball is, in fact, advanced only to about the 37. And a moment ago, the snap to Maynard was perfect. Just the cold weather and everything. Numb fingers. Maynard fortunate to get that punt away. New England from the 37. Brady has it on his hip. Going downfield to Branch. And another big gainer for New England.
Yeah, what a way to start the second half. Look at that. Touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Just tremendous. The offense just keeps rolling. They keep them in rhythm. That's what I like, what Bill O'Brien is doing so well. The play calling, they spread it out. They let Tom Brady throw enough to always keep him in rhythm.
Green Ellis finally taken down by Peppers. I tell you, every time it seems like Green Ellis gets it, he's got a lane and he's got a 10-yard gainer.
Oh, no question. Again, the other side, Algie Crumpler. One guy, Logan Mankins, Matt Light seals the end. It's a machine. And just talking about that play call, they run it, and they're running it well, of course, of late, but they run it enough to keep their offensive linemen aggressive. You know, that is such a key in the NFL. The offensive linemen like to hit people every once in a while.
Brady to Gronkowski, and he shoved out of bounds. As the Patriots just continue to pick up.
Now they got it all
chunks
going.
Yep.
Everybody's open. The first play he could have thrown over the top, maybe to Wes Welker. Going across the field, you'll probably see somebody coming this way. There he comes. You know what? They were both open. So why not throw it to the short one and get the easy completion? In these conditions, Tom Brady, we said it, we showed the footballs, how he's got them in perfect condition and controlling it very well.
Gronkowski takes off the Briggs hit. Urlacher and others hold him to a 5-yard gain. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Jerry Jones. Tonight on 60 Minutes, close inspection of the Dallas Cowboys owner only on CBS.
Well, that'll be interesting. You know what this drive reminds me of? It reminds me of a preseason game where we go, okay, now guys, we're going to get you out there. We're going to give you all the one last series, make a few plays, do this. It really has that feel to it.
Green Ellis. Well, there's a good tackle to wrap him up.
Toina and Lance Briggs both on the hit. Well, you could, did I hear you go, because you could hear it. Oh, that's Lance Briggs squares up two of them. What a hit. Lance Briggs. Brian Urlacher, Julius Peppers, all having outstanding years.
Well, this Chicago defense, that since that Super Bowl year 4 years ago, it's back to the way it used to be, except for today. Their numbers had been very impressive. Being shattered here, though, at the moment. 3rd and 6. And incomplete. Going for Green Ellis.
There are a couple plays here when the Patriots have been down inside is what the Bears are all about. Now you don't have to retreat as far. You can still watch the quarterback, play your zone defense, and the quarterback doesn't have that long because the rush got to him just like then. Tom Brady has to get rid of the football. Not enough time for the guys to get open and get the first down.
Dan Connolly and Algie Crumpler help clear a little space for the kicker. Shane Graham was 2 for 2. And this one from 29. Made it from 30, made it from 25. And has this one from 29. 36 to nothing. Inside 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Soldier Field. It's the second highest scoring New England team in its franchise history, behind that undefeated regular season team of 07. People thought, hey, they could never even come close to something like that again, could they? I mean, the way they played that season with Brady throwing 50 touchdowns, and then, you know, not going to put the same kind of numbers up in the end, but pretty darn close.
That offense caught everybody by surprise, unique to the NFL at the time. Then everybody copied it. Now everybody's getting away from it. And this time it's a totally different thought process, what they're doing.
Down to Devin Hester at the 4. Hester breaks tackles, has the middle of the field, and he's taken off, and he's brought down. A saving tackle made by Ninkovich. For a moment, I thought it was the opening kick return in the Super Bowl down in Miami.
Sure looked like it. Well, the Patriots got something to complain about when they go in to watch these films tomorrow. It's the return game. The Bears, boy, oh boy, how quick is Hester? Just the movement, the ability to make cuts and go forward without losing speed. And good hustle again never give up on the play when you're playing this Bear teams and some of these returners.
Very nearly getting his 14th all-time punt or kick return, which would have set the all-time NFL record. He's currently tied with Brian Mitchell with 13 for the best in league history. Cutler throws it off balance in the area of Bennett. Well, Phil, we were just getting settled in. Super Bowl 41 down in Miami. We turned around, saw Vinatieri kick it to the 7, and then Hester took off for the only opening kick return in Super Bowl history.
I think if I remember back, the Colts said, yeah, we're going to kick it to him. We'll see. We can do it. We can cover. I'm not sure. Was that the last time they kicked it to him?
Yeah, I think it was. Matt Forte.
You know, Jim, I always like that when I talk to fans, even people in the business, go, yeah, we're going to attack their strength. And I go, why?
What are you asking for?
Why do you want to do that for?
Yeah.
Is that what we're supposed to do? No, I'm going to go at their weaknesses. Leave that strength over there. Well, we'll just, you know, throw it to the guys who can't cover you. Like if Deion Sanders is the defensive back, yeah, we're not scared of him. I'm going to throw them all at him. Yeah, that's good.
Go learn your lesson. 3rd and 7. There's Forte. Page misses him. Forte down the sideline, and he tried to stretch it out. He's out of bounds. Ball came out, but he's out of bounds at about the 2.
That was a good job by everybody involved. Pass protection. Forte coming out, comes across the field, and he's so valuable in the passing game this year for the Chicago Bears. I tell you, as I watch everybody in this field today, it's amazing that the players are not slipping. Saw a game here a few weeks ago when the Philadelphia Eagles were here. It was a disaster. Everybody was falling, big divots coming up. None today here in this cold and snow.
That's their first down for the Bears since late first quarter. Can you believe it? 1st and goal to go. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Play action fake to him. And just throwing it away over the head of Manu Maliuna. This is the first time Chicago's been inside the New England 40 for the game.
You asked me, can I believe it? Yeah, it seems like the Patriots have had the football the whole game.
It really does.
You know, so much games are so funny in the NFL. You get the football, you control it, you drive it down the field, you take momentum away. Scores, they can be misleading, and that's why you see them turn around from one context to the next.
It's Chester Taylor, jump cuts, and he is a little bit shy of the goal line. Picked up maybe a yard.
Yeah, it looks like he's about on the 1-yard line. Can't tell from here. Is that about right?
It's really hard to tell. I'd say it's about right.
Yes. Well, then you make your mind up here if you're the Chicago Bears. Okay. Mike Martz already been given the word. We're going forward on 4th. So you determine. Usually if you're going to go forward on 4th, this is the down to run it. You throw it on 4th if you want to.
So 3rd and goal. Bears trying to get on the board at last. They go Chester Taylor, and he's in. Touchdown, Chicago. So Forte really set it up on the little pass where he broke a tackle, took it down to about the 2. And then Taylor finishes it off, and the Bears have something to celebrate. Mini celebration. Ron Brace of the Patriots a little banged up. Robbie Gould will be.
Well, Gerard Warren's already banged up.
Yeah, he got injured. Remember, he had that sack early in the game.
But he's back in.
Yep.
And then, of course, you know, Mike Wright's still out for him.
Pryor's out today, inactive.
Right.
Okay, Robbie Gould for the extra point. He was originally signed by New England as an undrafted free agent back in 2005. Went to camp and competed against Vinatieri. Didn't get the job at New England, but has had quite a career in Chicago. He's 5th all-time field goal kicker by percentage. Just a few percentage points actually behind Shane Graham on the other side. Manley snaps it back. Maynard on the hold. And Chicago has 7. With 8:43 to go, third quarter. Well, you got to go back to the time you were folks sitting at home, probably over your Thanksgiving meal. Back to Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, the last time the Patriots allowed a touchdown. Good kick over the head of Brandon Tate. Robbie Gould forces the touchback. 36-7. Back here at Soldier Field, we remind you, you can vote. You vote, they play. Send your favorite players to the Pro Bowl. Vote online or on your mobile phone. Voting ends Monday, December 20th. As Brady and Branch for about 7. The kicking game, a little help from your friends.
Teamwork. Think it in a blizzard there, but
yeah, look at that.
Look at everybody coming out, clearing the spot. And of course, as the score got higher, he got less help.
If you make it, you make it.
Yeah, it's not that important anymore.
Deion Branch has 130 yards. Ties his regular season career high receiving yardage. Oh, and that would have given him a new mark. That one a little behind him.
Yep, a little behind him, but that's where you had to throw it. The linebacker was in the throwing lane.
You know, they've gone against some top defenses this season, talking about New England. Look at the points down here at the bottom. They put up 39 at Pittsburgh. 23 in an overtime win against Baltimore. Averaged almost 30 against the Jets.
36 today. I said to Bill Belichick last night, years ago when they had that great offense, everybody copied it. This will be the offense in the NFL that will be copied this offseason. People will try to run this style.
There's Branch setting a new mark for receiving yardage and a first down.
And as, you know, as I tell you, this style, I mean, you notice the difference, don't you, Jim? To me, it's more complicated. The variables are great because of all the formations they come out with and how they don't really rely. It's not about, oh, we got one great receiver, you got to stop him. I don't know who you pick out. There are 6 guys that he can throw the football to, and they rotate everybody in there. Difficult to defend.
First down. Green Ellis, and this one will be knocked back for about a yard loss. But people would say after, of course, they made the Randy Moss trade, which ends up being a gift of a third-round pick. How are the Patriots? They've lost that outside threat. This is going to change everything. It's going to be more difficult for them to produce points, and it's actually just gone the other way.
It's gone the other way, and to me, I said it this week talking to people about the Patriots, I think they're throwing the football down the field better than I've seen them in years because of this. Play action fakes.
And a flag. Green Ellis as Urlacher bearing down on him. Probably going to be a hold call. They were holding Julius Peppers, it looked like.
Yes.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
But Jim, you're right. It's because of what they're doing on offense helps them. People looked at it the wrong way. The extra protection, the play action fakes, not relying on Randy Moss, Wes Welker entirely. Now the receivers are back to their route running. We see it. We've seen it the last few games. Deion Branch doing a double move. Whoever it is, the tight ends making little moves, getting down the middle of the field. That's what's really opened up this offense, I think, and just made it, like I told you, one of the best in the NFL when it comes to design.
After the first offensive penalty, it's Welker. He gets within 2 yards of another first. Deion Branch didn't catch it, but he did throw the block this time.
It's about Tom Brady make a play, and then don't worry about it. We'll take care of this, and we'll design it. Look at the lineman out in front.
Downfield, Matt Light's down there.
I mean, these guys block outside, of course.
By Branch.
Excellent job.
Mankin's down there. There's Matt Light.
Matt Light. Boy, Matt Light, he's
Picks up 18.
He's flying around today. Athletic offensive lineman.
On third down, there's Branch. And again, Tillman's having some issues with his footing out there. It just seems like every time he needs to make a break or kind of push off, he's just, you know, we saw the Bears, by the way, the ones who were changing cleats late in the first half.
Timing, that time the play was designed to go up top. Everybody on the route was to Tom Brady's right, but he had the opportunity to say, nope, I'm just going to pick one guy. That's Deion Branch, and again, the quick feet, keeping his feet underneath his shoulders. He doesn't slip, the defender does.
Another first down for New England, which has scored on its last 6 drives.
Encroachment, defense number 95. 5-yard penalty, first down, 5 yards to go.
The 1st and 5 on the way. By the way, how about this matchup down at the Hyundai Sun Bowl on CBS? Notre Dame and Miami bring back all the memories of that heated rivalry from the late 80s and early 90s in El Paso. Miami and Notre Dame on CBS New Year's Eve day. 1st and 5, fake Green Ellis. Pass to Gronkowski. He had Corey Wooten standing up trying to bring him down. 13 yards to the rookie tight end.
Corey Wooten, New Jersey boy. Good job. Brian Urlacher. Haven't heard from him much today. Coming on the blitz. Nice job. Green Ellis. If you're going to go low and try to get guys like Brian Urlacher, you've got to wait to the last second. Otherwise, if they anticipate it all, they just go right over the top of you.
First down, New England. Green Ellis hoping something develops, and it does. Could have been a loss, ends up being a positive play. Give him 2. Brady has just moved past actually Jason Campbell in this game into 3rd position all time in a single season, most consecutive throws without a pick.
Well, he could possibly break this next week.
Yep. Next week when they'll be hosting Green Bay.
Rich Gannon in front of him, CBS guy, who there for a while with the Raiders. Oh my gosh, were they good at throwing the football.
There's a defensive play made by Peppers.
I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, Welker, that pass, it's incomplete, but you can see how the wind influenced that one.
Man, that was a Wilbur Wood special there, big
yeah,
boy.
That's right, a little knuckleball.
It went out there and it dipped, not just it dipped feet. Look at that. Oh, he jumped. It was a knuckleball. And that's when I even said that a couple times today. You could go out there and get unlucky, go to kick a field goal and get one of these wind gusts and have no chance. That described that throw that time with the wind.
4th down, they're not going to go for the 46-yard field goal on these swirling winds. They'll go for it on 4th and 11. Chicago 28-yard line. All kinds of time. Gets it away to Hernandez. It won't be enough for the first. So the Bears will take over on downs. So 2:40 to go, 3rd quarter. New England 36-7. Jim Nance, Phil Simms back here at Soldier Field. It continues to snow. The wind that comes and goes, it swirls at times and gets very gusty out on the field, as we saw that pass that influenced the drop by Welker. But the Patriots have turned it over on down, so it's back to Chicago, which scored the last time it had it. There's Hester racing out of bounds, gain of about 11. Saturday, CBS Sports presents Championships of the NCAA with a fall highlight show presented by LG, 1 Eastern. on CBS.
You know, I was really kind of looking forward to today, thinking, man, if this game is tight, to see Jay Cutler, Tom Brady, just see who could win the battle of throwing the, just making plays, throwing the football. Of course, that didn't come about, but
come over to Forte, let him dip too much, and he had James Sanders closing in on him anyway.
I thought it was interesting, though, as we were talking to Lovie Smith this week. He says, man, we were out of practice on Thursday. The wind is just blowing. It's cold as can be. And he goes, I look up. He goes, he's trying to stay warm. And he goes, there's Jay Cutler just throwing it down the field. We're throwing and catching it. It was incredible. And he says, what did he say to Jay Cutler? Jay, does the cold and wind ever bother you? You know, no, coach. I don't know whether, but Lovie Smith, the point of the story is, he goes, this guy is made to be a Chicago quarterback. He really is, I believe, weatherproof.
There he fires it to Bennett, very close to the first.
They'll find a way to catch Atlanta.
Atlanta looking like a 1 seed to me right now as Cutler finds his target. Aroma should do with the catch for 16.
It's a good throw and catch, but I think, too, what's important for the Patriots, Harrington, he is right there. And Jay Cutler, just what really is unique about him, doesn't use his body, just stands there, and I just call, he's got like an independent arm. That arm is independent of that body, and he can just make it do what he wants it to do. And that was a good shot. You saw the slow motion, the rotation of the football. There's a lot of it. That's one of the big reasons why he can throw in this bad weather.
Yeah, big spinner of the football, isn't he, Phil?
He really is.
That was thrown in the area of Knox, who wanted a hold call, and now it comes out.
Gloves, the official was a little slow just because it's not a late flag. He just couldn't get it out of there because of the gloves.
He couldn't dig it out. It's going to be on Darius Butler. You know, back to that motion by Cutler. I mean, we saw him a lot in Denver when he was even backing up Jake
Pass
Plummer.
interference. Defense number 28. From the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
You always believed he was a very special talent, Jay Cutler. And but have you ever seen a throwing motion, anything comparable to that move?
No. You know, so you bring it up to me. I haven't really thought about it, but no, it is very unique. And it is, you know, he's always off balance. He never plants his feet, but listen, he was put on earth, and he has a great talent. That's to throw, and he shows it off.
First down off the penalty. Goes to the end zone, and it's knocked down. It was intended for Hester. That's Darius Butler just flagged for the interference, who makes the defensive gem of a play this time.
And as I just, you know, again, but here's a good example. When he plants his feet and uses his body, it is, you can tell. And, you know, I always like asking you these questions because you got a pretty good eye for it. You go, it's different. You can tell it.
No question. But it's amazing is how much zip and spin he gets on it without getting his body into it. Because you look at the classical motion of Tom Brady.
Yeah. Body oriented, really gets on what I call on top of it, controls it that way.
There's an interception by Guyton. Guyton with his second takeaway of the game. And the fumble return for the touchdown in the first half. Now with the pick.
Pressure, that's what did it.
Seconds to go, third quarter. The last time New England visited Soldier Field was 10 years and 2 days ago. December 10th, 2000. Bledsoe and Shane Matthews were the quarterbacks.
What happens on the interception? Just not able to even do anything. Couldn't get in, stride into it. A little off balance, and people around his feet makes it come up short.
And again, Guyton, as we mentioned earlier,
good day today.
To start the day today as Brandon Spikes will serve a 4-game suspension for violating league rules.
Well, that's the other thing. We talked about it a little too today, Jim. You know, it's coaches. Remember the beginning of the year, every time we, of course, never knew who quite was going to start for the New England defense. And it kept changing, but they created tremendous depth. So something like Spikes, when it happens, hey, things keep on rolling.
The Patriots had come into this game 4 clean games in a row, Phil. Pretty remarkable, without a single giveaway. And now, of course, without one so far today, even in the conditions you think it would be conducive to making mistakes. They've gone 19 quarters without committing a turnover. Hernandez meets for the first time Urlacher, and there is the turnover. Harris has the recovery and down to the 6.
That's an incomplete pass. And if it was complete, I think New England would challenge it.
There's no way that's going to be ruled a completion, but the crowd here thought all the way down to the 6, the Harris run back, it was going to be a legit play for that defense. Boy, Urlacher.
Tom Brady going, don't you remember when I ran by you in that game and you couldn't tackle me?
Urlacher drafted number 9 overall back in the 2000 draft, the same one, of course, so documented so often, where Brady was 199. Urlacher again number 9.
That was another good example how this defense, when it goes well, they watch the quarterback and they fool you. You think somebody's open. As you let the ball go, they react to you and they make hits like we just saw Brian Urlacher make.
So an incompletion, and 2nd and 10, and that's another one incomplete for Welker. Well, I mentioned that 2000 game when the Bears teed up Shane Matthews at quarterback. Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback of the Patriots. Brady was here. He did not get into the game. Of course, backup duty back then, his rookie season. But he got a whole tutorial about the history of Soldier Field. Going to come into this one from Bill Belichick, who loves all that history. He's really good at it, too. All the detail, nuggets, and minutia. He's got it.
You got one, too. He was quizzing you last night.
We went back and forth on that a little bit. He wins. There's Hernandez again, and he holds on for a first to close out the 3rd quarter. So Patriots will still have possession going to the 4th. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tom Brady today and the weather. Now, like you said, Phil, this isn't a team from Miami.
Right.
They're not afraid of coming out here to Chicago and playing in the nasty stuff.
You know, I think they have a bubble up in New England. I think they use it every once in a while in the off-season program. But I don't think this team, I think in all the games we've covered, I think we did go in to watch them practice once or twice.
Yeah, maybe that. But we've seen weather like this up there before, too.
Absolutely.
But that, getting back to this whole lesson on Soldier Field history, and
yes,
Brady had the whole notebook out with all the he had taken
he took all the notes about it. Yeah, it's really cool. I just love that about Bill Belichick, that he, of course, it just loves history, talks about it all the time. It's pretty unique that the players, as they start to listen and learn things, go, wow, that's pretty cool.
You know, Brady on the team charter into Chicago yesterday said he actually was on the internet on the flight, and he was checking out the Soldier Field,
checking out the clocks, where the
clocks are located. He found a website where he could see in great detail what it looked like inside the stadium. And of course, that was supported by, you know, Belichick talking about how it opened at 26.
Where the locker rooms used to be, where the field is.
All the different configurations of Soldier Field through the years. Welker, he tumbles around until he's officially down by Harris. Gain of 13. Look at this. How about tying Don Meredith on this week, just 6 days after we lost the great man? It's going to be.
Well, I'll just say this about Don Meredith. I really actually never met him, even though he did a lot of our Monday night games when I was a player. But I used to watch a lot of tapes, saw him, and pretty dang good thrower of the football.
Pretty entertaining broadcaster, too. One of the great ones. Green Ellis. That's back a little bit.
So real quick, let me give everybody at home a real quick quiz. The Chicago Bears. Why are they called the Chicago Bears?
Well, of course, you know, this is part of what we were getting yesterday from Belichick about how back in those days, in their early years, you used to somehow tie your nickname to the baseball team nickname. So
Chicago Cubs.
George Halas said if they're the Cubs, well, we're football players. We're Bears then.
There you go. And the colors of the uniforms, where'd they come from? You know, which I had heard it, but of course I couldn't remember.
Of course, George Halas was a alumnus of the University of Illinois, and their colors were black and orange.
There you go.
George Halas, who was head coach here for over 40 years. And you remember the story we uncovered a few years ago? Just on a whim, we asked Belichick if he'd ever met George Halas, because he was on his way to matching or surpassing one of Halas's records for consecutive wins at the time.
Right.
And he actually said, yeah, I actually did. I met him in a locker room at Baltimore one time. My dad took me to see the Colts play the Bears, and I was introduced to him after the game, and he said I was somewhere between 7 and 11 years old. And I walked up to Coach Halas, and I congratulated him on the victory. The Bears had beaten the Colts, and he reached in his pocket and handed me a $1 bill and said, young man, I give $1 to the first person that congratulates me after every game. Who could have ever imagined that you would have that fateful meeting of one of the legendary fathers of the league, and a man one day who, of course, would have this incredible Hall of Fame career of his own.
I think, well, there you see those numbers, the number of wins by Bill Belichick, but the 3 Super Bowls, pretty incredible. And I'm not sure I think Coach Belichick still have one more game to catch Mike Holmgren.
It's going to be this one.
He might still have that $1. No, I'm serious.
No.
Did he keep it?
No, he did not keep it.
Oh, he did.
I thought you were making a comment about.
No, he's not cheating.
No. Just want to be sure. He's going to actually move into the top 10, tying Holmgren
right
today.
Longevity.
Now, if you're talking about Mike Arnold, our director, yes, he would have, had he been the guy that met George Halas, he would have that first $1.
That's just not right.
Yes, it is right. Yes, just as a keepsake.
That's right.
What don't you think I meant? First and 10. Beautiful throw down the field. That was Gronkowski, the tight end, going deep. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense number 82. 10-yard penalty is still first down.
First and 20. That's a catch by Brandon Tate. Wednesday, Showtime, JB, Chris, Warren Sapp, and there you are. Phil Simms on cable's longest running show, the multi-award winning Inside the NFL, every Wednesday on Showtime. This is what it's like down on the field for these guys, okay? It just keeps kicking up.
Kicking up here in the booth.
Yes, it is. That last throw to Tate was good for 12. It's a 2nd and 8. That's Gronkowski pushed back after a gain of about 4.
Well, you know, no, I'm just going to say, real quick, just, you know what you find out in days like today, if you're the Chicago Bears, you think you're good, and you go, wow, okay, you know what? We better go back into work tomorrow, because if we want to be the best, we got a ways to go. And the standard has been, it's been changed. And I think all teams, once they lose a game, they realize, okay, we thought we were on our way. We better get back to work and listen to these coaches, because that's the only chance we're going to have.
3rd down and 4. I think there were a lot of people out there, even with this 5-game win streak, that were wanting to check this out today to see if the Bears were for real. As Brady able to hold on to it, Peppers was all over him. Fortunate not to have the ball stripped.
Well, Julius Peppers, they did not want him to be the athlete today. In other words, don't let him just start making plays, get the crowd, get the defense all fired up. And when you see something like this, the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you know, Tom, heck of a job, baby. Put that big cape on and start thinking about next week here.
Zoltan Mesko.
I'll give you some good examples, too, of why you start thinking about taking him out.
I think that was a good one right there.
Yeah, well,
that last play. So a touchback, just net of 13 yards. minutes to go in Chicago. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms watching the Bears today muster only 115 yards of total offense. Hester.
It's tough, but you know what? I think the Bears are tough.
Taylor picks up a first down.
And then, you know, I was watching our pregame show today and looking at everybody. I hope they're all warm, drinking their hot chocolate back there in the studio, but that's another story. But I heard Bill Cowher say that he thinks the Chicago Bears will lose their last 4 games. And, you know, I can't sit here and go, wow, that's just I don't agree. But there are weaknesses on this football team that would concern you. One of them is protecting Jay Cutler in that.
That one's incomplete. You know, just looking at that schedule, next week they're scheduled to play at Minnesota. And of course, yes. Where will that game be played? With a roof collapse at the Vikings home stadium earlier today, forcing their game against the Giants to be played in Detroit tomorrow.
If it's not ready, that I would think they would play it at the University of Minnesota, who has a brand new stadium right by theirs.
And they could be playing in conditions like this, you know, for a second straight week.
Which I really believe would be an advantage to the Chicago Bears. But you know, the Bears are one of those teams. The defense can give but make big plays, and they've done a good job this year on offense. What a throw.
That's Earl Bennett. He's got a first down. You know, they move in that game tomorrow. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. The Giants and the Vikings. And, you know, of course, Giants stranded in Kansas City. And they start looking at options, and Giants say, wait a minute, we didn't pack, you know, any outdoor gear. So they're going to move the game to Detroit. But, I mean, how hard would it have been?
If you're the Eagles or any team that I would be so upset.
Could have traveled the gear in.
Now you're going to play at a neutral site, basically. And you had to play in the Metrodome against Minnesota.
You're saying now, take that game and play it at the University of Minnesota, the new stadium you just mentioned, play it there tomorrow. You know, have the Giants have
absolutely
almost 36 hours to figure out how to get the kind of outdoor gear you need to play that game. And now maybe Minnesota has they'd have a fan base there, unlike what they're going to have tomorrow.
That's right. And I'm just saying this: you're one of the teams fighting the Giants for a playoff berth. That's my question to you. How would you feel? Now we're going to take the crowd out. Jared Allen doesn't have the crowd to help him in the pass rush, to all the things that it can cause.
And Cutler on first down. Oh, you had Bennett waiting on him down at the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a beautiful throw down the field, getting time. And I think this is what he kind of envisioned today, but what a throw by Jay Cutler.
That ball was getting buffeted in the wind a little bit. Wobbling as Arrington is down for a moment. Look at the backdrop there. Wind being, you know, forced throughout. Snow being swept around, and an injury timeout. 6:58 to play. All right, the Bears have the ball on the New England 10-yard line. Maybe it is cold outside. And a little colder for the home crowd today with this Patriots blitzkrieg. As Cutler goes in zone, and it's batted away by James Sanders. Bennett, the receiver.
We've talked about it quite a few times today, but when you watch the Patriots, some of the players, Patrick Chung last week, really making a lot of good plays. Darius Butler did a good job and then there's James Sanders, steady, reading the quarterback, knocking the football down.
Arrington, remember he was banged up, set out one play, now returns. On second down, Cutler breaks away from the pass. Now throws, and he's intercepted by Merriweather in the end zone. England takes over again. Four Chicago turnovers, one of which was a fumble and a run back for a touchdown. .6:31 to go, and Green Ellis plows ahead for about a yard. You know, it's an interesting matchup. Belichick against Mike Martz and Lovie Smith. It was Martz, the head coach, back that first time that Belichick and the Patriots won the Super Bowl down in New Orleans. And that high-powered Rams attack got compromised. The run back by Ty Law for a touchdown, and that one, it all ended with Vinatieri winning it with the field goal, 20-17, beginning the Patriot dynasty. And of course, that game, by the way, was the last game that Pat Summerall and John Madden called together.
That's right.
Great partnership. And on Tuesday night, they both go into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame in New York on Tuesday night. I look forward to being in attendance to see that great moment with those two gentlemen, those two icons. As Brady is sacked still in there. Brady dropped for a 6-yard loss. Also might add that Davey Finch, our extraordinary cameraman, is also going to be recognized and go into the Hall of Fame at that very same event.
All well deserved. Congratulations to all. Tom Brady, just a gem, getting hit there. Why I wouldn't have him in there. If you watched the game a few weeks ago, San Diego, Indianapolis, the game is over. Indianapolis comes out trying to get a late score just for whatever reason. First play, Peyton Manning throws it to Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne's laying on the field, and I go, wow, you're talking about your year could be over.
From the 14, Brady down the sideline. Oh, what a catch that is. Brandon Tate lays out for it and pulls it in.
Yeah, again, no, it's all one right there. He gets off so cleanly away from Tillman, makes the fake inside, swims in, uses his hands, and creates just a vacuum for Tom Brady to make the throw down the sideline to him. So
Brady now comes out just after you called for it, and after that throw, Brian Hoyer replaces him. Tom Brady 369 yards today, a new season high. Fred Taylor in the backfield. So Hoyer, the second-year man out of Michigan State, gives it to Freddie Taylor, a 13-year man.
Tell you what, Brian Hoyer, I watched him in this wind and snow today. Should have seen him warming up. Couldn't tell him and Tom Brady apart.
And he was undrafted a year ago.
Offside. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. First down, 5 yards to go.
Hoyer. And that's Taylor breaking tackles. Picks up another first down. We approach the 4-minute mark. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Patriots and the Bears, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here at Soldier Field. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast. You'll see it at your regularly scheduled time. Patriots have scored in 17 consecutive quarters going into the fourth, which of course they haven't scored, haven't needed anything of the sort to rally today. Down 10-6 in the fourth quarter in that AFC East. It's Urlacher making another play along with Adonijah and Harris. Gain of about 3. Tom Brady moved into 20th all-time passing yardage in NFL history, moving past Steve DeBerg today. In played, by the way, how do you handle the cold weather? He was wearing well, he called it a wetsuit underneath his uniform.
Yeah, he told us about that, I don't know, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
You asked him again last night about it.
Yeah. Ever since that remember that divisional playoff game against the Tennessee Titans 7 years ago, he went to wearing what he calls a wetsuit. It's more like a scuba gear, if you will, as Woodhead gets the first down. Some may call it like a surfer's outfit, but he says, man, it is tight to the skin, doesn't take up a lot of bulk, and it keeps me warm.
We should have had him on under our shirt.
Yeah, we've got to get those for next time. No question. So we reached the 2-minute mark. 36-7, New England all the way. You know, you go back to 1975, and Bill Belichick was, at the time, a special assistant to Ted Marchibroda with the Baltimore Colts. The first game, now he's only making like $50 a day. His first game was a game at Soldier Field in 1975. They traveled him here for that game. And there's also a guy, by the way, in the Bears making a debut that day by the name of Walter Payton. How about a nod here to the remarkable men and women on our crew here, our technical crew, battled through it. They're out here and it's setting up all day yesterday, crack of dawn this morning, all through the day, and they're not able to move around. It's not easy. At least if you're out there playing in it, you can stay warm.
Well, we saw a lot of them. We came in early this morning. They were all, everybody was in the tunnel. It's almost like you got to get yourself psyched up for it. Of course, it's Bob Wishney down there.
Paul T. Sherwood.
Hard to tell who's who because they're covered up well.
I barely recognized you up here in the booth, man. You got so many layers on.
Yes. Hey.
Pete Calander and your crew, outstanding as always.
And of course, we appreciate everybody's hard work, especially in conditions like this. And, you know, another outstanding effort by the Patriots, too.
5 straight wins for New England. 5 straight wins and 5 straight games without a turnover. Incredible. Led it 33-0 at halftime. And they go on to demolish the Bears today at 36-7. 11-2 on the year. Brady now 19 touchdowns since his last interception. Just an incredible stretch of his own. So the final score is New England 36 and Chicago 7. Coming up 60 minutes, followed by the finale of Amazing Race. New episodes Undercover Boss CSI Miami. For Phil Simms and all the crew, Jim Nantz saying so long from Chicago. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Let's go to James Brown in New York.